The Boulder bathroom. Storytelling through tracking continues. Danny's childhood, as Disney Warner Bros. Peanuts image glyph suggest, is being left behind. Moving past the left side of the screen, as the island in the opening shot does. This mimicry links both lake and bathroom reflective surfaces, defining and evolving our notion of mirroring in passages. Besides being a deft play on words, left behind, the movement, sidedness, and multiple mirrors, either implied like the bilaterally symmetric blankets or actual, indicate Kubrick has a passing knowledge of neuroscience. His use of mirroring reflects the split brain's right-left divide and the slippery, nearly invisible crossover between them. Danny's ritual passage into adulthood is coming rapidly on the right inside the mirror, where his father is to be slain by him and the hotel. The left wall exhibits a sliding show of children's mythology and animal life, recalling the preceding off-screen Roadrunner animation. Mickey Mouse will later appear on Danny's sweater, another mischievous hero. Kubrick identifies Danny with troublemaking seers from all canons of animation, a contrast to Wendy's novel text world. Danny consumes and identifies with animated visual mythologies. Unlike his parents, he has no books in his room. Without reading skills, he has no dual, or lexemic, multiple, or metonymic meanings in his brain's language centers, a freedom the adults do not enjoy, nor do they even perceive this advantage. By using Tony as a reflection of himself, Danny appears consciously dual. His double works as a tool, it prevents Danny from being swallowed into the overlook's mirrors. And in contrast to the film's terminus-bound storytelling, ending in 1921, Kubrick contrasts the lifeless B and W still, appearing in both the last shot and the last shot of the film, with Woodstock's rainbow in motion. The spectral light of Ullman's office, a shining, dissolves from Jack's forehead to the bathroom sunlight. He is dissolved to an approaching room with a central light source framed precisely like Ullman's office, a traveling reversal of our shot of Jack. The Boulder apartment's actual sunlight is subtly contrasted transitioned, with the hotel's false windows pure white light, a light value, white balance, in reverse of the previous. Doubling scene in background of previous Boulder shots and the nightmare doubling of the hotel beginning with Bill Watson, extends metaphorically to these cartoon figures. Doubling through anthropomorphism, spirits entering bodies. The textless myths affixed to Danny's wall will be used to slayful his father. All three, Jack, Danny and Wendy, inhabit these archetypes variably. Second clearly visible mirror of film, the lake is the first. The bathrooms, is man-made and now vertical. Danny is speaking into it, he treats it like a two-way medium. The mirror is an element of a tween effect, an unseen animation from Danny's view of the TV's cartoon. This sequence separates the animated characters left, the past and numerous temporal paths. It's somewhat like storing them in your memory. Kubrick compounds methods of Danny's sight, from TV to mirror. He peers into the mirror and sees beyond the TV's metaphors, to the future of the film. The medium he sees here is photorealistic, a movement from cathode cartoon animation to reality. Danny uses the TV's animated mythic archetypes as guides from nature that transform into physical archetypes. He is the eagle that followed his father during the credits. His overlook much more powerful than his father. Danny then goes a step further, passive reception of the hotel's transmission. Does Tony travel to these events, or does the hotel send its warning? Later Danny will contact Halloran through a TV, hitching his signal to the newscast. Danny's abilities are supernaturally conscious now time traveling, both the bleeding elevator, which is witnessed by Wendy at film's end, and the girls, he later witnesses them from his tricycle, are future events actively sent to him as physical realities. He predicts Wendy's coming call seconds later. Once isolated in the mirror, we see Danny stands in a pink-tiled, red-bordered room that cuts directly to the elevator's red mask. We pan right from the kitchen to the living room as Wendy completes the milk's reverse journey from glass to carton to refrigerator. In this shot we see Wendy with consumer telecommunication devices, TV and phone. Media, books, TV and wall imagery form an arrow tree shape pointing upwards. This is the opposite view of the Boulder apartment establishing shot of the dining table, with Danny staring as the TV plays Roadrunner. The film is an escalating series of visions accessed through TVs and mirrors. Now he is staring from the bathroom mirror into Wendy's TV framing. He predicts the call. Look at the calls intercutting closely. She picks up a white phone. And in its same position in the next shot, is a woman walking in all white who passes into a glint of sunlight reflection, framed to contrast the Boulder apartment TV with its live-action western, an implied animation into realism from the Roadrunner cartoon, a transition from children's entertainment to adult-themed conflict, from sound only to image only, both are Wild West mythologies. Later Danny will watch an adult-themed film below a TV surrounded by toys wearing a Mickey Mouse sweater. He'll then walk to a conversation with his father who acts like a cartoon villain. The TV's effects are diminished representationally in Boulder. It is surrounded by books, telling us the adults find their text information superior to the TV's. This TV reappears in Halloran's house with reverse surroundings. All hanging art is relevant, here they provide contradictions. Boulder Apartments' Japanese print and TV screen are framed in precise verticals with hotel lobbies columns. Their intercutting becomes key. What they mean. The Boulder's print is of nature, sharpened. The nature seen outside the lobby is ghosted, supernatural, and they mirror one another. It coyly hints once you enter the hotel, nature is no longer powerful, the supernatural is dominant, beyond our conception of nature, the print. The TV's cowboys, in their cathode blue hue, contrast the reddish column it cuts to, a spot with the highest shine, and directly mimics Bill Watson and Ullman's pose. The glyphic transaction between shots is obvious, that medium was TV, this is shining. Our first clue: the entire hotel's vision is merely conjured, yet in a medium far more complex than television. Shot reveals Jack at phone, a 45-degree mirror exhibits Ullman and Bill Watson in similar, mirrored conversational positions to Jack. A man in the lobby's far background regards the maze model in the opposite position to Jack stands above it later. The TV used to watch Summer of 42 later in the film, is shown in background, inert. The four hotel employees all overlap the columns painted a similar earth tone to Ullman's office. Jack joins their overlapping. The bell-up that stands at the near column is carefully patterned, his colors flow from the pattern he stands above, even his foot stance continues. Wendy and women at desk are similarly dressed, like settlers out of Little House on the Prairie, a hint at gender roles. Photographic contrast is high at home and low at hotel, it is shining. The column behind Jack, and its inverse, the inset framing him in the office interview, are both the width size of Danny's bathroom mirror, as his zoom above begins. A compression that links TV and mirror via their visual connector between the shots. The column. The mirror's door is not closed, it is slightly opened on its left side. A doorway in editing. This ajar folding space motif is employed continuously in the film. Variations of this logic, spaces and rooms that have folds and doorways that are left open, are also continuous, a visual play on words. vertical interview. Some cuts invert background and subject. Others are bookend transitions, like an image of Danny looking, appearing to see what lurks in the next shot, seeing what we see.